Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to create this animated glowing agate structure on a slightly beveled black cube. So let's get started and have fun. Okay, so let's get started with a fresh new Blender scene, and let's have some modifications here. We are going for cycles, we are going for GPU compute, we are going for far less samples than the default is, and we are going for 1080 times 1080 picture, and we are going for 30 frames per second. So, and OpenEXR is the format we want to generate. So we have our default cube, and we are give it a slight bevel. So we are going here for maybe 8. So that's it, and that is our default cube now, which we are going to shade. So we are in the shading editor, and we have this new material, and in order to get some agate structure, we have to add first some Musgrave texture, Musgrave, and in order to apply that to the principled BSDF, we have to add a color ramp, and the height of the Musgrave texture goes into the color ramp, and the color goes into the color. So we see what is happening here, and we have to bring up these texture here to about 14. That is of course not looking like a agate structure, so we have to add some wave texture. So that is the point which makes it an agate structure. So wave texture we put here, and now we see, okay, we have some bands here, and we are bringing down the scale to about 0.6, and the main point is the distortion. So if we add some distortion to it, let's say about 16 maybe, we see that looks more like an agate structure now already. So we are moving the detail a little bit up, and the detail scale, let's say that way. Okay, and we see that is the structure that we now have is far too detailed, and also, yeah, too much white parts, too many white parts. So we have to use our color ramp now and bring up the black values in order to eliminate these many lines here, and to bring down the white to make the lines that appear in the picture more visible. So you can play around with these values to see which position of these handles gives you the most satisfying result. So I think I will go with these. Yeah, with these positions. So we have, of course, to remove the roughness, set it to 0, and now we have some very nice agate structure. Okay, so that's first thing to do here. Now we want to make it glow. So maybe if we want to glow it, and to glow means only the brighter parts should glow. That is the white structure here. Maybe white is not so interesting to glow, so we can change the color here from white to whatever we want. Maybe some kind of this light blue. Okay, and to make it glow, we simply need to put the color into the emission. So that makes no big difference here in our preview, but if we go to rendered view and we switch off the light, we still see that this object is visible, and that comes from the fact that these agate-like structures, these blue structures, are now glowing. We can also see this if we switch to the layout mode and we go to render mode here. Not sure if we have cycles. We have cycles switched on, but our world is still has still some gray background, so we bring that down to black, and still we see this object, and that comes from the glowing. So if we switch to the camera and we have some other view on it, we stick the camera to the view so we can make it a little bit larger, and then we hit F12, we see that the object is visible even in total darkness. So okay, now next point is to animate. Before we do that, we can add some, in order to see what is going on here, we can add a, let's say, a plane and scale it up to, let's say, 4. So, and we bring this cube up to by 1 meter. Okay, so it's sitting on the plane now, and we have the camera here, and we are switching the camera like this, and then we can see, yeah, we have some kind of reflection here on the plane. So it's glowing indeed. So how to animate this now? For the animation, we go back to our shading editor, and we see that we have another parameter here in our wave texture, and that is a phase offset. And if we are playing around with the phase offset, we see that it's moving. The structure is moving, and we will use this as a driver to the animation of the structure. Okay, so by default the phase offset is set to 0. We can set to whatever value we want, but we will start with 0, and now we will use a driver to drive this phase offset. And since we are doing an animation, we are adding a value node here and use the frame number, that is hashtag frame, as a driver to this value. And if we are hitting the spacebar, so running the animation, we see that the value is running through the number of the of the frames. So we are using this value for the phase offset. Okay? And if we go back to layout and switching only to this view, then we see, okay, it's running an animation, but it's running far too fast. So we have to go back to our shading editor and add in here a math node and divide the value of the frame by, let's say, maybe 15. Okay, and let's see how this works. I press space. Yeah, and that looks far better. We also can see it here in the layout view. That looks far better. Okay, so now it's moving smoothly and looks pretty good. Okay. So to test this animation and to get an impression of how this works, we're going to duplicate this plane and rotate it along the x-axis by 90 degrees, and to bring this on the y-axis to the end here, that is 4 meters, and doing the same again, but rotating it along the y-axis also by 90 degrees, and move it along the move it along the x-axis by 4 meters. And now we have some, we can also bring this up by 4 meters, and we can also bring this up by 4 meters. And now we have a perfect corner for our camera to look at. Okay, so, and that corner we will use to animate the agate structure on this on our cube. So what we are doing is now we go to our end button here, and we say, let's say 120 frames, and okay. That is what we should get then, and we will make a film, a short animation out of these pictures. Okay, to do so, simply we have everything we need. We go to render, animation, and we are waiting for the animation render to be finished. So just get a coffee and wait with me until the animation is finished. Okay, all single images are rendered now, and I made a new render file with new and then video editing, and that comes up with this kind of window, and I added via the add image sequence all these single EXR pictures that are generated by Blender. And now we have some movie clip, and this looks like this, and we can render this into a animation. And first we have to go for the options, so 30 FPS, and maybe also a new directory to put this in. Maybe you can't see this at the moment because the OBS doesn't do that. So, and we are going here for FFmpeg video, and we are going here for the right directory, and we are going here for MPEG-4 and for perceptually lossless quality. And then we're going to render this animation, and that goes pretty fast. And the result we get from this render is the following. Okay, that's it. If you liked the video, then please like it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Thanks and bye.